So good morning, everyone. Welcome all of you to our 2021 Convocation. It's great to see so many of you here in person this morning. Of course, we also have others out there that are joining us via live stream today. I want to take just a minute and recognize a few special attendees who are with us. And I didn't see her come in. Is Erin Rozelski here? Here you are. It's hard to tell with face masks. You can't pick people out of the crowd quite as easily. Erin, of course, is our Faculty Senate President, so thank you for being with us this morning. We also have leaders from the Southeastern Student Government Association, and I want to introduce them. L'Oreal Williams is the SGA Vice President, and L'Oreal is also recently selected by her peers at our sister institutions to serve as the student board member of the Board of Supervisors. So congratulations to L'Oreal. And also with the SGA, we have our Vice President, Ron Jackson, and Chief Justice Kelsey Stays. So thank you all for being here. It's always great to have some of our students with us at Convocation. I also want to thank our friends at Aramark, who are our 2021 Convocation sponsor. And most importantly, they will be providing lunch. So we look forward to that. I guess it's oddly appropriate that when you officially launch a new academic year during a pandemic, you do it on Friday the 13th. I don't think we thought about that when we picked this date, but the calendar just kind of works out that way. Anyway, I'm not particularly suspicious, well, I am suspicious. I'm not particularly superstitious, but as far as Friday the 13th is concerned, you know, if you're waiting for something strange to happen, you're too late, because something strange has been going on for the past year and a half. And calling it strange is probably an extraordinary understatement. So none of us started the spring semester in 2020 expecting a global pandemic, but nevertheless, we got one. And whatever you could have expected to be associated with living through a pandemic, the polarization stemming from the politicization of all things to do with the pandemic, from the reality of the virus to the origin of the virus to the effectiveness of face masks to the safety of vaccines and everything in between, has made this much more complicated and frustrating than we could have ever imagined. And I will be perfectly honest with all of you. For me, and I suspect probably the same thing is true for many of you, there have been some pretty dark days where things just seem to be completely crazy. And you know the days I'm talking about. Days where you begin to wonder whether things will ever be normal again. Having previously led our institution through multiple years of budget cuts and hurricanes and tropical storms and freak snowstorms and student accidents and deaths and other inexplicable events, I pretty much thought I had seen it all. You know, as they say, been there, done that, and got a t-shirt. And then came along COVID and kind of blew all that up. So in March of 2020, we all kind of reeled from the prospect of converting pretty much overnight everything that we do to remote and virtual delivery. But we did it. We debated about providing broad-based grade accommodations for our students, but in the spring of 2020, we did it. We struggled with figuring out how to safely celebrate our graduates' successes, but we did that too. And along with many of you, I scratched my head, and sometimes other parts of my anatomy, over how to effectively communicate and encourage our employees and students to take advantage of safe and effective vaccines, despite a barrage of misinformation and politicization. But we've been doing that too. So most recently, you know, many of us have really grappled with the prospect of launching a more traditional semester in the midst of the Delta variant and one of the most vigorous COVID surges that we've experienced to date. But here we are at Convocation, launching a new academic year and doing it. And none of these efforts and accomplishments have been perfect, as though perfect is a reasonable benchmark during a pandemic. But we have persevered and in large measure succeeded. And for that, I thank all of you sincerely. The slides that were behind me earlier this morning really, I think, remind us all that despite the pandemic, we've continued to do many productive and impactful things. We continue to teach our students, allowing them to graduate with their degrees and move forward with their lives. Our faculty have continued to pursue their research agendas and successfully publish their results and secure new grants and do all of the other things that faculty do. We continue to offer our students personal growth opportunities and support services, services which have never been more important than they are now, given the negative impact that COVID has had on our students and their well-being. We continue to raise private funds to support our students and other programs. Our athletic teams have continued to successfully compete, albeit in a somewhat crazy and compressed schedule. We continue to make improvements to our campus facilities, as well as plan for and secure funding for future improvements. We continue to make progress on the implementation of our new enterprise-wide software system, Workday. The bottom line is this: we've continued to make a difference in the lives of our students and have a positive impact in the region that we serve. Over the years, people have sometimes asked me, when things are really tough, how do you keep a positive attitude and stay focused? My answer has always been the same. I find solace in reflection on what drew me to teaching as a vocation in the first place. A few weeks ago, I received a message from one of my former students from about 30 years ago. He had recently run across one of our campus videos that had been posted on social media, and he happened to see it, and he recognized me as one of his former faculty members in the College of Business. And in all honesty, I really didn't remember very much about this student. 30 years ago was a long time. But thankfully, he had positive things to say about his experience in my class. And he gave Southeastern credit for helping him be successful. It was remarkably fortuitous timing, because at a difficult and dark moment, when I needed it most, his message jolted me and provided a concrete reminder of why I chose this vocation in the first place. And it's a reason that I am certain I share with many of you. Education is about helping people improve the quality of their lives. That's what we do. It's that simple and yet that profound. Whether there's a pandemic or not, that's what we do. The work that you do, that we all do every day, changes people's lives. And while they're the ones perhaps most likely to be remembered, it's not just the teachers in the classrooms. It's the advisors, the counselors, the tutors, all the other people that get the student to the right classes and help make sure that they get the support they need to finish those classes. It's the physical plant workers who make sure that the plumbing and the heating and the cooling, all of those things work. It's the people in technology who make sure that all the behind-the-scenes magic works when we need it to. It's the people in the advancement office who continue to raise private money to support student scholarships and other programs. And I could go on and on and on. But in short, it's every member of the Southeastern family, because everyone plays a role in making sure our students have every chance to succeed. So I encourage you, when you get frustrated, when you get tired, or maybe even when you get scared, remember that what you do is uniquely important, because what you do changes people's lives. Those of you who have been at these convocations before and heard my remarks know that I like to incorporate inspirational quotes from famous people. And one of the people I most enjoy quoting is Winston Churchill. And one of his most famous quotes is this: "It is not enough that we do our best. Sometimes we must do what is required." And what is required of all of us is to continue making a difference in the lives of our students, despite the pandemic or whatever other adversity comes our way. And as always, I appreciate the opportunity to work alongside you as we do just that. And I sincerely hope that all of us have a safe and successful year. Thank you very much. Now our provost, Dr. Tina L. Golding, will introduce today's honorees.
Thank you, Dr. Crane. It's great to see everybody this morning. It was, even behind the mask, the eyes and the smiles were there, I could tell, and it's wonderful, wonderful, wonderful to be back together. I want to introduce our vice presidents. We'll start with Mr. Sam Damiano, Vice President for Administration and Finance, Dr. Eric Summers, Vice President for Student Affairs, and Ms. Wendy Lauderdale, Vice President for University Advancement. Several new faculty and staff members have joined the Southeastern family since our last convocation. Would new faculty and staff please stand and be welcomed? We offer you our best wishes for a successful and rewarding time at Southeastern. The Board of Supervisors for the University of Louisiana system will act on our recommendations for tenure and promotion at their August meeting. Names of faculty members who have been recommended for tenure and promotion are listed in the program. At this time, I would like to ask them to stand and be recognized. Thank you for your dedication to excellence in your respective disciplines. We would now like to recognize members of the Southeastern family for their years of service to the university. Because we are unable to have convocation last year, we are recognizing recipients of service awards from both 2020 and 2021. Those who could not attend in person are joining us via live stream. Last year, a new service award was introduced to honor employees with 20 years of service. Those employees have received a Southeastern pin, and their names are listed in the program. Would those employees who received a 20-year service award please stand and be recognized? Thank you for your service to Southeastern. Awards for the following service categories will be available to pick up near the stage at the conclusion of today's ceremonies. So we're going to start with the 25-year service. Each will receive a medallion which may be worn with academic regalia or displayed as a symbol of dedication and service to the university. Please stand as your name is called and remain standing until all names are called. Micah Sude, Mary Ballard, Yvette Baldwin, Jennifer Barnes, Bob Braun, Gloria Brown, Alan Cannon, Russell Castro, Andre Kuzan, Eileen Creel, Linda Davis, Sam Damiano, Cliff Fontenot, Margaret Gonzalez Perez, Eddie Hebert, Michelle Hall, Gary Cowan, Pete Langlois, Danny Lewis, Chrissy McGee, Mary McKelvey, Elizabeth Miller, Mackie Myers, Pete File, Jean Prejean, Ed Rohde, Rick Simpson, Chad Smith, Patty Staub, Andrew Shraver, Deborah Villaruta, Jeff Wymelt, and June Williams. On behalf of the entire university family, we extend our sincere gratitude for your loyalty. Please be seated. Next, we will recognize those individuals receiving 30-year service awards. The recipients will receive a Southeastern watch, which we hope they will wear with pride. Please stand as your name is called and remain standing while other names are called. Ron Abel, Chris Bentley, Sam Capel, Ann Caruth, Virginia Creel, Brian Cruther, Laurie Davis, Dewey Dobson, Peter Emerson, Phyllis Hoover, Margaret Little, Rebecca Muller, Bill Parkinson, Pat Pendarvis, Tony Phillips, Carl Phillips, Anthony Randall, Peggy Rowling, Terry Root, Matt Rosano, Gary Schaefer, June Taylor, Avi Weicker, Mary White, and Randall Wills. Please join me in thanking all these employees for their service. You may be seated. Three individuals are celebrating 35 years of service at Southeastern and will receive a wooden chime clock. Only one could join us in person, and he's already been standing, so we won't ask him to stand again. Please join me in congratulating Rebecca Height, Roxanne McHodgkins, and our president, John L. Crane, for their devotion to Southeastern. Employees with 40 years of service are awarded either a Crystal Lion statue or a Southeastern blazer. This year we present Crystal Lions to Gary Childers and Donna Methvin, who are joining us via live stream. Thank you for your dedication and many, many years of service to Southeastern. Our sincere appreciation goes to all of these employees recognized today for their loyalty and contributions to the institution. That's a lot of service to the university. Now we'll look at our President's Excellence Award winners. The President's Award for Excellence is one of the highest honors Southeastern confers on faculty and staff. The Excellence Award recipients for 2020 have already received their engraved plaques, but we would like to recognize them this morning. Please stand as your name is called and remain standing until all names have been called. Brian Cruther, Excellence in Research. Margaret Gonzalez Perez, Excellence in Teaching. Gerlinda Beckers, Excellence in Service Faculty. And Paulette Poche, Excellence in Service Unclassified Staff. Please join me in congratulating the 2020 winners. You may be seated. Now we will recognize this year's recipients. Please come forward as I call your name. The President's Award for Excellence in Artistic Activity is being presented to Lily Brooks, Assistant Professor of Photography. Over a decade of sustained creative research and production, Dr. Brooks has developed a series of interrelated projects that speak to the depth of her commitment and potential as an artist. Dr. Brooks' photography has been featured in 37 exhibitions, 8 of which were solo shows. Her artwork has been featured on NPR and reviewed by the Los Angeles Times. Her artwork was included in 8 exhibitions in 2020. So Lily with us? The President's Award for Excellence in Research is being presented to Professor of Organic Chemistry, Jean Fauti. For Dr. Fauti, developing a relevant and nationally competitive research program with a major focus on creating solutions for real-life problems has always been at the center of his ambition since he began his Southeastern career 12 years ago. During his tenure, Dr. Fauti has brought to Southeastern over $900,000 in competitively awarded external funds for his research. His research activities produced 25 refereed journal articles, of which 13 were co-authored by Southeastern undergraduates. He has 4 book chapters and 1 provisional patent. Dr. Fauti. President's Award for Excellence in Teaching is being presented to Rebecca Davis, Associate Professor and Program Director in Communication Sciences and Disorders. Dr. Davis's philosophy of teaching has always been to make the material relevant to the real world. A faculty member since 2003, her teaching methods have been supported and recognized within the university, as well as nationally and internationally in publications and presentations. Her students state, Dr. Davis is genuinely concerned with making her students the best students, the best speech-language pathologists, and the best human beings. Dr. Davis. President's Award for Excellence in Unclassified Staff Service is being presented to Callie Berner, Director of Event and Conference Services. Ms. Berner leads her team in creating positive customer experiences in the University Center, Student Union, and other rental spaces on campus. She believes that providing quality service is imperative to the success of any organization. In addition to her university service, Berner serves her community in numerous ways, volunteers in many organizations, and is also a member of the Tangipahoa Professional Women's Organization, a former member of Ponchatoula Chamber of Commerce Board of Directors, and a founding member of the North Oaks Health System Foundation Board of Directors. Ms. Berner? Have another round of applause for all of our excellence winners. The term Emeritus is a title awarded only to a few select individuals in recognition of distinguished and extraordinary service. Today we bestow the title of Professor Emerita of Kinesiology and Health Studies to Dr. Millie Nakan. Dr. Nakan joined the Southeastern family in 1993. She co-directed the Excellence in Health and Education project, which trained individuals throughout the state in health education curricula. She also founded annual summer institutes on campus to provide professional development to both school and community health educators, especially in HIV prevention. She secured funding for state standards and benchmarks in health education and provided leadership for studies dealing with youth health practices and school health policies and practices. In 2007, she received the President's Excellence in Teaching Award. Dr. Nakan, please come forward. Let's give all our honorees another round of applause. This concludes our formal program. Callie Berner is going to provide some directions for lunch.
Aramark's Catering Services team has prepared our traditional convocation meal for you today. We understand that many of you will not be joining us for lunch, but for those of you who are, please do your best to keep your distance from others as you line up for food. We'll start with the back of the room. If you are seated at tables 30 through 40, you may now make your way to the nearest buffet station.